So here we are at American Dry Stripping and Powder Coating. This place is amazing. Any color you can think of. We'll get inside and then you can check out all the colors that they have here. This place is awesome. The color we chose for the frame, I do believe it's this one or the one on the bottom. No, the one on the bottom. King Sport Gray with clear. And then we're doing all the other parts in a ink black, like a semi-gloss kind of. But look at how many colors they have here. Insane. You could do crazy textures, illusion colors. I mean, come on. You can go bananas on these colors. I can spend a week in here powder coating everything, my tools, whatever I get my hands on. Real nice place. These guys are awesome here. Very meticulous. So when we come back, we'll record picking everything up, and then you can see it right when I pick it up that day. We're just gonna give them a quick bath, knock all the grime off of them. Nothing special, just some dish soap and a rag. They honestly feel like sandpaper. They're so dirty. All right, so let's get this thing rolling. Get it? The wheels rolling. We need to, even after I washed them and they're starting to dry, there is so much grime on these things. They're disgusting. We're gonna try to get all that off. Hopefully they come clean, because I do not want to pull these bearings off, pull these tires off, get them powder coated and all that. I'd rather them just be like a satiny black. So we're gonna use a 000 steel wool to get us back down to the original black. And then we're going to use some waxes, some WD, whatever we can find. Some old school Brillo pads, I don't know. Let's start on the back wheel first. A buddy gave me this stuff a long time ago. Showtime Truck Shine Paint Gloss Enhancer. But I use it with this steel wool. It makes everything look new again. Actually, it works pretty well. You know what? We're probably going to end up time-lapsing this whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some music on, clean these wheels up, and then after the time lapse, I'll show you how good they came out. All right, let's do this. Alexa, play some Jason Aldean on my Pandora. All right, while that back one is drying up, we're gonna hit the front one. Do the same stuff we did to the back one on the front one, and time lapse. They are cleaned and they're waxed. All you have to do is let the wax dry and come back and buff it off. Hopefully they will be black and shiny again. Alrighty, it's been a couple hours letting that wax dry on there, and we're gonna rub the wax off and see if they're starting to shine. They are a lot better than the way they looked before. Without using a buffing wheel, they look pretty damn good. These wheels are 23 years old, so they're not gonna be perfect, but they are a lot better than they were. Far from brand new, but maybe we'll find somebody who can buff just the lip up like they used to do back in the day. You would strip off 1 inch of paint and the outside rim and then polish it, the aluminum. So this is the finished result. Got a pretty decent shine going. I'll try to get a side-by-side of what they look like before and what they look like now. But I think they look good enough to put on that bike. Put a little tire shine around the edges. Not bad for a little steel wool and wax. So we got the engine all cleaned down. Got everything taped off that we wanted taped off. The engine is such poor shape that I think I'm going to just wrinkle black everything. All the bolts, everything. Everything's kind of rusty or corroded. I cleaned the best I could get in there. I got in there with a toothbrush, cleaned in between all the fins, taped that off. We're going to use the VHT Wrinkle Plus. Give this a shot. We're going to do this cover first, do a little test. I got the heat gun so we can heat it up and make it dry a lot quicker. All right, let's give it a shot and see how it goes. So on the can it says it takes quite a while for it to get wrinkly black. So we'll do a coat like that. We'll hit it with the heat gun, see if we can dry it. I actually had a small space heater going for the last 4 or 5 hours on the engine to keep that warm, because it's kind of chilly outside today. I think I went a little too heavy on this side. It actually started getting wrinkly. All right, let's dust another coat on. So that was 2 coats in 5 minutes. And it's already getting wrinkly black. Do a third. So that's 3 coats in 7 minutes. It honestly looks nicer than the finish on my night train. Well, maybe because my finish on my night train is old now, but looks pretty good. Definitely happy with that. Let that cool down. And I think when I do the engine over here, I'm probably gonna have to do it in parts because I need the heat gun. So I'm gonna get to work on the engine. Probably gonna time lapse all this. All right, so basically you got the idea. So I'm gonna do the entire engine. Keep on heating it with the heat gun. I'll do this whole side first, get it wrinkly, and then head to the other side. So I'll show you the finished product after it's all completed. So I finished spraying that wrinkly black on the motor. Helpful hints, because some spots took a lot better than other spots did. Thinner metal heated up a lot better and got wrinkly a lot quicker. Do very small areas at a time. I do like a 6-inch by 6-inch small area. Get the metal hot first, then spray it, and then keep the heat gun on it. It's super inconsistent if you do too much at a time, which I did. I did a little bit too much at a time. It still looks 1,000 times better than it did before because the motor was kind of a mess, but the texture looks pretty good. I started sanding these down a little bit just to see if, give it a little more of a look to it. I'm going to finish that up. I might sand all the fins on the outside, but the texture is not bad. You just got to give it a lot of heat, have a lot of patience. That cover came out good, but you can see where it's kind of inconsistent in this area. And I did it a few times. Put a lot lighter coats on. Put 3 very, very light coats on and heat every coat. That part came out really cool. And also the wheels are done. I got the front wheel all back together. They look clean. They're going to go back on. I don't need to have them powder coated or painted. They're definitely clean enough. Sandblasted that rotor and then painted those bolts to go on. Same thing with the rear wheel. Rear wheel is pretty clean. Almost has like a satin finish to it. It's not flat. It still has a little bit of sheen to it. But I think that's going to work good with this bike. Kind of industrial look. That's about it. We'll get this off the lift and we'll start unwrapping all the stuff from the powder coat.
Several days later.
So I just got a call from Jose at America Dry Stripping and Powder Coating. He called me and said my frame is all set. All the rest of the parts are good to go. Come pick everything up. So we're going to head down there and grab it all and check it out. Hopefully everything looks great. Let's go. So this is how everything gets wrapped up after everything's powder coated. They wrap the crap out of it. Everything's wrapped up, boxed up. Got the gas tank in the front seat. Rolling with me. We'll open that up when we get home. So we're gonna get home, get everything in the garage, and then start getting right to work. So we are back from the powder coater. We got everything ready to start assembling this bike. I haven't opened anything. So I got a little sneak peek because this was a little open, but that's it. So what you guys are seeing is what I'm seeing. I haven't opened any of this frame yet, and I'm super excited to do it. So I'm gonna do it right on camera so you guys get to see the same thing I'm seeing. It's such a dark gray that it almost looks black. I am in love with this color. It is sick. And once you put the black parts against it, here's the tank. Beautiful. What I think I'm going to end up doing, because I couldn't grind down this weld, I think I might put a strip, maybe one inch on each side, come down in like a wrinkle black to cover that nasty weld. It's a little bumpy, but when you powder coat stuff, you can't put any body filler on it because then the powder coat won't stick. So you have to paint it, or because you can't body fill it. So that's really nice. And the fender has some marks on the fender, the center of the fender. So this I was checking out before. There's some little lines right there. So if I put a
a 2-inch black strip down that. The same thing with the tank and the front fender. That'll get those little tiny imperfections that I'm bugging out about gone. And that is it. So that's going to be a wrap for this video. In the next episode, we're going to be moving on to assembly. We're going to start with the engine and we're going to work our way out. We're going to lay the engine down on the bench. We're going to slide the frame over and we're going to start there. I'd also like to give a special shout out to Jose and the crew at American Dry Stripping and Powder Coating. They did an amazing job on these parts. Without them, I would have been painting it with rattle cans and it wouldn't be looking as good as it is now. So special thanks to American Dry Stripping and Powder Coating. Jose, you the man. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.